Piplup, the penguin Pokemon. A poor walker, it often falls down. However, its strong pride makes it puff up its chest without a care. Prinplup, the penguin Pokemon. It lives a solitary life. Its wings deliver wicked blows that can snap even the thickest trees in half with a single hit. Empoleon, the Emperor Pokemon. If anyone were to hurt its pride, it would slash them in two with wings that can cleave through an ice flow. Ninetales, the fox Pokemon. Possessing a calm demeanor, this Pokemon was revered as a deity incarnate before it was identified as a regional variant of Ninetales. Golurk, the automaton Pokemon. When the seal on its chest is removed, it rages indiscriminately. During such rampages, it can turn a whole town into a mountain of rubble. Tentacruel, the jellyfish Pokemon. On the rare occasions that large outbreaks of Tentacruel occur, all fish Pokemon disappear from the surrounding sea. Flygon, the mystic Pokemon. Known as the Desert Spirit, this Pokemon hides in the sandstorms it causes by beating its wings. And will still likely not get a Mega. How sad. Meowstic, the Constraint Pokemon. Though it has enough psychic power to blast away any opponent, Meowstic prefers to support its allies rather than attack. Reuniclus, the Multiplying Pokemon. Their arms are made of a special liquid. They use psychic powers to control these arms and crush boulders. Whimsicott, the Wind-Veiled Pokemon. Like the wind, it can slip through any gap no matter how small. It leaves balls of white fluff behind. Poltergeist, the Black Tea Pokemon. The tea that composes Poltergeist's body has a distinct and enjoyable flavor. Drinking too much, however, can be fatal. Tea Time. Okay, I usually don't include the moves, but I've never heard of Tea Time before. What does that move do? The user has Tea Time with all Pokemon currently in battle. Each Pokemon eats its held berry. Interesting. Very, very situational. I don't think it's really good at all. Because that it assumes that the user is using a berry. Whiscash, the Whiskers Pokemon. It is extremely protective of its territory. If any foe approaches, it attacks using vicious tremors. Dugong, the Sea Lion Pokemon. It sleeps under shallow ocean waters during the day, then looks for food at night when it's colder. Dodrio, the Triple Bird Pokemon. It now has 3 hearts and 3 sets of lungs. Though it can't run as fast as Doduo, Dodrio can keep running for longer stretches of time. Lotad, the Water Weed Pokemon. The leaf on its head is naturally dirt repellent and will stay clean even after transporting Pokemon that are covered in mud. Seedot, the Acorn Pokemon. To expand its habitat, it pretends to be a nut so that bird Pokemon will pick it up and carry it far away. Swinub, the Pig Pokemon. It searches for food by digging into the ground with its snout. Even frozen ground doesn't give it any trouble. Mousehold, the family Pokemon. The 2 little ones just appeared one day. The group might be a family of related Pokemon, but nobody knows for sure. Ralts, the Feeling Pokemon. The horns on its head provide a strong power that enables it to sense people's emotions. Stantler, the bighorn Pokemon. This Pokemon apparently used to live in much harsher environments, and thus it once had a stronger psychic powers than it does now. Squelvet, the cheeky Pokemon. It stores berries in its cheeks. When there are no berries to be found, Squelvet will stuff pebbles into its cheeks to stave off its cravings. Hoothoot, the owl Pokemon. Hoothoot's internal clock is precise at all times. It tilts its head in a fixed rhythm. Poliwag, the tadpole Pokemon. The swirl on its belly is its inside showing through the skin. It appears more clearly after Poliwag eats. Corphish, the ruffian Pokemon. It came from overseas. It is a very hardy creature that will quickly proliferate, even in polluted streams. Volbeat, the firefly Pokemon. It lives around clean ponds. At night, its rear lights up. It converses with others by flashing its light. Pachirisu, the Squirrel Pokemon. It's one of the kinds of Pokemon with electric cheek pouches. Love how it's just something like Pikachu. It shoots charges from its tail. Ooh, and we have a reward. Okay. Actually, ooh, that's just the base Pokedex. Neat. We get 10 nest balls. Yay. So currently we're at 73 on the Kitakami Dex and 49 for Blueberry Academy. Yes, I did do a lot of Blueberry Academy ones at the start. It needed to get done anyway. At the very least, it looks like we're approaching the halfway point for Kitakami, so that's nice. We've got a lot of Pokemon that we can still evolve, and, well, I mean, there's still plenty of areas that we can go and catch some more stuff, so we've still got a lot more stuff to take care of. Kricketot, the cricket Pokemon. Its legs are short. Whenever it stumbles, its stiff antennae clack with a xylophone-like sound. Petalil, the bulb Pokemon. The leaves on its head grow right back even if they fall out. These bitter leaves refresh those who eat them. Vulpix, the fox Pokemon. If it is attacked by an enemy that is stronger than itself, it feigns injury to fool the enemy and escapes. Heracross, the single horn Pokemon. It loves sweet nectar. To keep all the nectar to itself, it hurls rivals away with its prized horn. Poltergeist, the matcha Pokemon. Oh, we got the fake one. Supposedly the regrets of a tea ceremony master who died before perfecting his craft, lingered in some matcha, and became a Pokemon. Man, there must be a lot of regretful tea masters then, considering there's a bunch of these things. Toadscool, the wood ear Pokemon. Toadscool lives in muggy forests. The flaps that fall from its body are chewy and very delicious. Noibat, the sound wave Pokemon. This Pokemon emits ultrasonic waves from its large ears to search for fruit to eat. It mistakes Applin for its food. Choodle, the snapping Pokemon. Its large front tooth is still growing in. When the tooth itches, this Pokemon will bite another Choodle's horn, and the two Pokemon will tussle. Surskit, the pond skater Pokemon. They usually live on ponds, but after an evening shower, they may appear on puddles in towns. Growlithe, the puppy Pokemon. It has a brave and trustworthy nature. It fearlessly stands up to bigger and stronger foes. Sewaddle, the sewing Pokemon. Sewaddle chews on leaves to make its clothing. It's trying to mimic the leafy garment Leavanny first dressed it in. Cramorant, the gulp Pokemon. Cramorant instinctively swallow everything whole. They're at their most formidable when they're struggling to swallow overly large prey, like a Pikachu. Ducklet, the water bird Pokemon. It's not very good at flying yet. It watches the dances of its Swana parents to learn how to move its wings. Riolu, the emanation Pokemon. They communicate with one another using their auras. They're able to run all through the night. Gligar, the fly scorpion Pokemon. It builds its nest on a steep cliff. When it is done gliding, it hops along the ground back to its nest. Vullaby, the diapered Pokemon. They tend to guard their posteriors with suitable bones they have found. They pursue weak Pokemon. Starly, the starling Pokemon. They flock around mountains and fields, chasing after bug Pokemon. Their singing is noisy and annoying. Ooh, and we get some more rewards. Into Pokedexes. So we've got 100 in the regular Pokedex, and that gets us some Stardust. Cool, I can use that to get more money. And then we've got a reward in the Kitakami Pokedex for getting 90 Pokemon. And that gets us a PP up. Cool. Ooh, a bottle cap, though. That'll be nice. Pawniard, the sharp blade Pokemon. Pawniard will fearlessly challenge even powerful foes. In a pinch, it will cling to opponents and pierce them with the blades all over its body. Grubbin, the larva Pokemon. Grubbin normally live underground, but if they get unearthed by Hoot Hoot, they may be found gathered around electric Pokemon. Mimikyu, the disguise Pokemon. This Pokemon lives in dark places untouched by sunlight. When it appears before humans, it hides itself under a cloth that resembles a Pikachu. Impidimp, the wily Pokemon. The reason this Pokemon causes trouble for those it feels close to is because Impidimp itself gets irritable if it can't absorb negative emotions. Phantump, the stump Pokemon. Legend tells that its green leaves may cure any illness. When plucked, however, the leaves will instantly wither away. Indeedee, the emotion Pokemon. It dislikes conflict. If a fight occurs in its territory, it uses psychic power to throw things at the combatants in an effort to drive them away. Basculin, the mellow Pokemon. They live in frigid seas, forming schools and sharing food among themselves. When the time comes, they return to the river they were born in. Hatena, the calm Pokemon. Because the emotions of others constantly flow into its head, this Pokemon prefers environments where no other creatures live. Spoink, the bounce Pokemon. Spoink will die if it stops bouncing. The pearl on its head amplifies its psychic powers. Bonsly, the bonsai Pokemon. In order to adjust the level of fluids in its body, it exudes water from its eyes. This makes it appear to be crying. we have more rewards from the Kitakami Pokedex. So now we've got the bottle cap. Nice. Next is a Razor Fang. Okay. Well, we're at least making some decent headway. Still looks like there's plenty that we could try to find. I have been trying to keep track about the ones that I need to evolve. At the very least, we are making some decent progress. I do think I need to catch a few more before I start a big ol' evolution train going. So, we'll see what we can do about trying to catch a couple more before doing a lot of evolutions. Sandshrew, the mouse Pokemon. It digs deep burrows to live in. When in danger, it rolls up its body to withstand attacks. Mienfoo, the martial arts Pokemon. In fights, they dominate with onslaughts of flowing, continuous attacks. With their sharp claws, they cut enemies. Munchlax, the big eater Pokemon. It needs to consume its own weight in food every day. As far as flavor is concerned, it's indifferent. Rabombi, the bee fly Pokemon. Rabombi can sense when people or Pokemon are feeling down, and will cheer them up with handmade pollen puffs. Oricorio, the dancing Pokemon. This form of Oricorio has sipped purple nectar. It uses ethereal dance steps to call forth the spirits of the dead. Chimecho, the wind chime Pokemon. It uses the sucker on its head to hang from a tree or from eaves. It can produce 7 different tones. Ghastly, the gas Pokemon. It wraps its opponent in its gas-like body, slowly weakening its prey by poisoning it through the skin. Bronzor, the bronze Pokemon. Ancient people believed that the pattern on Bronzor's back contained a mysterious power. Ooh. And we've got another reward. So let's see what we've got. So that's in the regular Pokedex. Okay, more experience candy. Could always use more of those. Ooh, and I can always use more quick balls. Okay, so current progress report. Help if I could click on the right thing. So we're currently at 108. I think we might be good to start doing our evolution spree at this point. If I can maybe find a Glimmet, I think I would be pretty okay to start doing that. Oh, hello. Carbink and a Glamora. Okay, well, this is a little interesting enclave here. Carbink, the jewel Pokemon. It has slept underground for hundreds of millions of years since its birth. It's occasionally found during the excavation of caves. There's a lot in this little cave section. I was about to say, now where's that Glamora? Glamora, the ore Pokemon. When this Pokemon detects danger, it will open up its crystalline petals and fire beams from its conical body. Alright, and that is another addition to the Kitakami Pokedex. Let's see. Luxury Ball, a Nugget, another Nugget, and a big Nugget. Okay, cool. Plenty of different money that we can just sell for. Was there anything down here? Beyond the trainer. Ekans. Ooh, yes, actually. Glimmet and Salandit. Glimmet, the ore Pokemon. It absorbs nutrients from cave walls. The petals it wears are made of crystallized poison. A moment of truth. Is this Salandit female? It does not tell me. Male or female? Male. And there's a lot of carving that are just sitting up there. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much everything that we can realistically do. Unless... Oh, we can go further down. Oh, I think this is just the way out. Yeah, I think this just drops us off in the main cave area. Okay, but I think that pretty much... does it for what we realistically need to do. Unless... Well, you know what? I can take a look to see if these Salandits are female. So I can get a Salazzle. Male. Male. Dang. Yes, I know I can always just get the male Salandit for the Pokedex, but it almost... I feel like I'm losing a lot of space. I might need to dismiss some Pokemon soon. Because I get the feeling that I'm running very low on on PC space. Anyway, if I can stop running into Pokemon and try to make my way out, I think I can take a look and see where we're at. Oh, this isn't even a way out. At least I don't think it is. Oh, no, it's a hole. Okay, so now that we are finally free from that, let me see where exactly we are at currently. So we are at 111, so we need 39. I think we are good. I think all we need to do is just evolve a ton of Pokemon. Love Ball? Anyway, I'm gonna see how many more Pokemon we can get just from evolving what we've got. If we've got 39, then we are good to start evolving. Alright, yeah, we have at most 42 potential evolutions that we can do. So we are good to go. So I'm gonna save, I'm gonna rest up, and then we are going to go and evolve a crap ton of Pokemon. Lombre, the jolly Pokemon. Old folklore in Kitakami tells of a mischievous child who was reborn as a Pokemon. Ludicolo, the carefree Pokemon. There are structures throughout its whole body that produce energy when hit by sound waves with a cheerful rhythm. Nuzleaf, the wily Pokemon. It leads a quiet life deep in the forest. If anything wanders into its territory, Nuzleaf will warn the intruder by sounding its glass flute. Shiftry, the wicked Pokemon. It is said that when Shiftry flaps its leafy fans atop ancient trees, chilly winds blow, and the season rolls into winter. Kirlia, the emotion Pokemon. It has a psychic power that enables it to distort the space around it and see into the future. Gardevoir, the embrace Pokemon. To protect its trainer, it will expand all of its psychic power to create a small black hole. Noctowl, the owl Pokemon. Its eyes are specially adapted. They concentrate even faint light and enable it to see in the dark. Piloswine, the swine Pokemon. Covered by a shaggy coat, it is resistant to the cold. Its tusks of ice thicken when it snows. Mamoswine, the twin tusk Pokemon. A frozen Mamoswine was dug from ice dating back 10,000 years. This Pokemon has been around a long, long, long time. Kricketune, the cricket Pokemon. By allowing its cry to resonate in the hollow of its belly, it produces a captivating sound. Ninetales, the fox Pokemon. Some legends claim that each of its 9 tails has its own unique type of special mystical power. Poliwhirl, the tadpole Pokemon. Its 2 legs are well developed. Even though it can live on the ground, it prefers living in water. Poliwrath, the tadpole Pokemon. Although it's skilled in a type of dynamic swimming that uses all of its muscles, for some reason it lives on dry land. Crawdaunt, the rogue Pokemon. Loving to battle, this Pokemon pinches all Pokemon that enter its territory with its pincers and throws them out. Lilligant, the flowering Pokemon. The fragrance of the garland on its head has a relaxing effect, but taking care of it is very difficult. Toadscruel, the wood-ear Pokemon. These Pokemon gather into groups and form colonies deep within forests. They absolutely hate it when strangers approach. Sinistcha, the matcha Pokemon. It pretends to be tea, trying to fool people into drinking it so it can drain their life force. Its ruse is generally unsuccessful. Gallade, the blade Pokemon. When trying to protect someone, it extends its elbows as if they were swords and fights savagely. Hatchrim, the serene Pokemon. To this Pokemon, strong emotions apparently feel like incredibly loud noises, even if the emotions are happy ones. Hatterene, the silent Pokemon. Hatterene knocks out those that intrude in its home forest by blasting them with a beam, then slashing with claws enhanced by psychic power. Brutal. Mandibuzz, the bone vulture Pokemon. It's always searching for food for Vullaby. When it finds a weak Pokemon, Mandibuzz swoops it right off to its nest. Staravia, the starling Pokemon. Recognizing their own weakness, they always live in a group. When alone, a Staravia cries noisily. Staraptor, the predator Pokemon. When Staravia evolve into Staraptor, they leave the flock to live alone. They have sturdy wings. Charjabug, the battery Pokemon. Protected by a sturdy shell, Charjabug eats large quantities of fresh and decomposing leaf litter in order to evolve. Yet nothing about being near a power plant. Vikavolt, the stag beetle Pokemon. Displaying exceptional mobility, it weaves between trees and shoots down bird Pokemon with its electromagnetic beams. Arcanine, the legendary Pokemon. An ancient picture scroll shows that people were captivated by its movement as it ran through prairies. Bisharp, the sword blade Pokemon. This Pokemon commands a group of several Pawniard. Groups that are defeated in territorial disputes are absorbed by the winning side. Grumpig, the manipulate Pokemon. It can perform odd dance steps to influence foes. Its style of dancing became hugely popular overseas. Sandslash, the mouse Pokemon. It is adept at attacking with the spines on its back and its sharp claws while quickly scurrying about. Masquerain, the eyeball Pokemon. It flaps its 4 wings to hover and fly freely in any direction, to and fro and sideways. Morgrem, the devious Pokemon. Morgrem prefers dirty tactics, like ambushing, because it doesn't have confidence in its brawn. Mienshao, the martial arts Pokemon. When Mienshao lets out a bizarre wail, you're in danger. A flurry of kicks and chops too fast to see is about to be unleashed. Swadloon, the leaf-wrapped Pokemon. Swadloon lives quietly at the feet of trees. It prefers eating fallen leaves that have grown soft rather than fresh ones. Swanna, the white bird Pokemon. Centered around its leader, the flock dances in perfect sync to strengthen its unity. Haunter, the gas Pokemon. It likes to lurk in the dark and tap shoulders with a gaseous hand. Its touch causes endless shuddering. Dreadnought, the bite Pokemon. Its massive, jagged teeth can crush a boulder in a single bite. This Pokemon has an extremely vicious disposition. Noivern, the Soundwave Pokemon. Ultrasonic waves emitted by a Noivern can pulverize a large boulder. This Pokemon has a cruel disposition. Kinda running out of things to say when you have 2 back-to-back that say that. Bronzong, the Bronze Bell Pokemon. In ages past, this Pokemon was revered as a bringer of rain. It was found buried in the ground. Cutiefly, the bee-fly Pokemon. When it senses the auras of people or Pokemon who are having fun, it will draw close and give them a painful poke with its long proboscis.